Hey, okay, story time. So, I have a camping toilet in my truck. And one time I was driving in an area in Iowa where it's just uphill and downhill and uphill and downhill, up a mountain, down a mountain. And so it's like a roller coaster. You're just constantly having to, adjust and make sure there's something called a Jake brake that holds the truck tight so that your engine doesn't start burning because your brakes are getting blown out. Anyway, so I'm driving in this area, uphill, downhill, uphill, downhill, uphill, downhill, and I start to smell this smell. And I'm like, oh no, I think I forgot to move my cooler. I usually use it to hold the toilet in place so that it won't fall over. And I think I forgot to push back in the lever that closes the toilet tank part. So I'm thinking, oh no, everything has spilled all over the truck. I have a rug back there. All I'm thinking as I'm driving is I'm going to have to clean up a whole toxic waste site when I stop this truck, right? So I feel like every single bump, every single turn, every single swerve, I'm like, oh God, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. And the whole time I'm driving, and I have like a couple hours left to drive before I can, stop and check this out. It's not like I can turn around, while driving a semi truck up and down hill to see how much the damage is done, right? So, now mind you, TMI, I only do number one in that toilet, but still, I'm not really looking forward to having to do this, right? So, I'm just like, oh man, and I am beating myself up in my head. I'm like, how could you forget to do this? We have a process. We do the same thing every time. Like, oh, why did you forget to do that of all things? I am doing my usual, being hard on myself thing that I do for everything. So, finally I'm able to stop. And I turn around and I'm like, oh God, like, what am I even going to use to clean all this up? And I turn around and the toilet is fine. The toilet is intact. I did not forget to close the lever. I did not forget to move the cooler to block it. I forgot I'm driving through an area where there are lots of cows. In fact, I had picked up beef. I was coming from a beef plant where I was going to be driving beef across to where it needed to get to. So, I say all that to say there's a way in which we get, going with these familiar ways in which we talk to ourselves and beat ourselves up and give ourselves a hard time. And a lot of times it's over things that aren't even reality. A lot of times we'll be sitting here scared to try something or scared to do something and coming up with all the ways that it's going to go wrong and be like, and then this will happen and then that will happen and this could go wrong and that could go wrong and it would be terrible because of this, that, and the other thing. And, we create these whole tales when sometimes the toilet is perfectly fine. It has not fallen over. You did not forget to do the proper steps. Everything is okay. All that time you spent beating yourself up was for naught. You could have been using that time dreaming good dreams. You could have been using that time planning new plans. You could have been using that time to come up with action steps for goals, or just staring at the cows that you're driving by, right? So, yeah, let's stop coming up with these elaborate stories about what could go wrong and why we're at fault for it and why we can never do what we're gonna do, because, man, sometimes the toilet just be fine and you did everything you're supposed to do. I will see you all in the next video. Please like, subscribe, share. My name is Essence Revealed, and I am sharing this journey from actor to tractor. I am a 48-year-old rookie trucker on my journey to financial freedom and to show other Black women over 40 that you can start over and that you can do something new, and that the fear that we have in our heads of starting over and doing something new and worrying about what other people will think, it's fake. It's up here. It doesn't exist out here. So go do the thing. Bye. All right, so just do the thing. Go do the thing. But how? How, Essence? How? Okay. I just watched a really great video by Alexis Sparks called How to Reinvent Yourself. And I thought she did a really great breakdown of how to get things done. I have one simple step that I've used since college when I feel overwhelmed about how do I get something done that I really want to get done. Break it down into a list. I make a list. I do the smallest steps and put them in order when things need to be done. So I would do it in college for exams, let's say. So what exam is coming up next? What is the date? And just go down the list and focus on that one thing at a time. Because the whole list, the whole like finals or midterms was too much. So if I just made the list with the due date and just focused on that one thing, I could get through it with less stress. So whatever the scary thing is, break it down, make a list, put a date of when you're going to complete the thing on there, and that is how you can start to get it done when you don't know how. Break it down into the tiniest little bits. But take a look at Alexis Sparks' video, How to Reinvent Yourself, because I thought that she was pretty thorough. But for those of you who too much information is too much, make a list, break it down, have a due date, and work on it that way.